On February 24th, 2022, Russia invaded Ukraine. On Wednesday, March 23rd, there was a Crisis in Ukraine forum event held at Lower Bucks County Community College, which included Congressman Brian Fitzpatrick.
Okay, dry room. Good afternoon, everyone. Oh, that's much better. Thank you so much for being here. I am Felicia Ganther, the president of Bucks County Community College, and it is my honor and distinct privilege to welcome you to today's panel discussion. At this time, I want to turn it back over to Bill so that we can begin the session.
Speaking of honoring your boss, thank you, Dr. Ganther, for being here. Really appreciate your opening. And I want to thank Dean Jim Sell for making all the physical arrangements for the event and the technical crew that will be filming this and presenting it to the 100 Zoomers who are out there. We're just proud to have you here at our campus because we're very proud of it. Excuse me. We've assembled an impressive panel for today's program who will bring varying perspectives and experiences to our discussion. We're joined by United States Congressman Brian Fitzpatrick, who recently returned from a trip to Ukraine and was previously stationed there as an FBI agent working on developing anti-corruption and democratic standards. With him is Irina Mazur, honorary Ukraine consul for Philadelphia. Next is James Fine, former Quaker International Affairs representative and a relief worker. And finally, Dr. Joseph Gawosky, United States Army Colonel retired and professor of history from Rider University. Given the busy schedules of our participants, we have just 1 hour to address a broad range of topics. It is unlikely we'll get to all of them, but we'll do our best. To that end, we ask the panelists to be as concise as possible and to limit their opening statements to 3 minutes, after which I and the public will pose questions. Hopefully the public will have time to do that. A logical place to start is with Dr. Gawosky, who will give a brief overview of Ukraine's history, its relationship to Russia, its break with the Soviet Union, with the former Soviet Union, and its rise to sovereign statehood in 1991.
When Bill called me to ask me if I wanted to participate in this program, I said to him, I said, Bill, I'm an American labor historian, okay? I can talk about Sam Gompers, I can talk about steel workers, but I don't know much about Ukraine. He said, well, Joe, you do what you tell the students to do when they say that they don't know something. You learn it. So the last 2.5 weeks, I've been studying Ukrainian history.
We're told that about 3 million people have already fled Ukraine as refugees. Another 10 million, as many as 10 million may be displaced. The humanitarian challenge now and when the war ends are going to be astonishing.
Imagine 50 million internally displaced Americans moving away from the East Coast to escape bombardment, and 23 million Americans fled to Canada or Mexico. That's the equivalent of the situation in the Ukraine today.
And our next speaker is Irina Mazur, the Philadelphia consul for Ukraine. And you just cannot imagine what you're going through and what you're thinking. And you know, our hearts are with you. And before this is over, I hope you will give us some suggestions on how best people can donate to the right source, whether it's just the Red Cross or whatever. Okay.
Absolutely. Good afternoon, everyone. First, please allow me to thank you. Thank you for this forum. Thank you, Congressman Fitzpatrick, for joining us and to be a true leader of Ukrainian people in Congress and in the United States. What I want to tell you first, I want to thank you all and for your generosity and for your support and for your compassion for Ukrainian people who truly suffer today. There is nothing short but the genocide of Ukrainians by Russia. But the problem is that this genocide takes place for over last 100 years. You must know that Ukraine existed as an independent and prosperous state for more than 1,000 years ago.
Congressman Fitzpatrick, We're all familiar with the famous efforts of Winston Churchill to rally his people and to in this magnificent speech. We'll fight him on the landing fields. We'll fight him on the beaches. But I remember also a one-liner that he delivered to Roosevelt. He said, "Give us the tools and we'll finish the job." Are we doing? I mean, there's a myriad of topics we need to discuss, but I want to open with you with: are we doing all we can to provide Ukraine with the tools it needs to defend itself? And if not, what else could we be doing?
We've gone part of the way and not all the way. I want to start first by putting things in perspective from how I see it. I think I share everybody's sentiment. I think we all probably can sum up our collective feelings by seeing what we're seeing as pit in the stomach. The broader unanswered question is, what is our moral obligation? This NATO, non-NATO distinction. Are we okay as a country to sit back? Obviously, we're providing weapons to Ukraine. We're strangling, attempting to strangle Russia's economy. Tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, potentially millions of Ukrainians lost. But if one step is taken over the Romanian border and one Romanian is killed, the full force of 30 nations that are part of NATO, their military, come to bear.